Can I be real for a second? What you watch is shaping who you're becoming, whether you admit it or not. I didn't think it was affecting me either, until I found myself reacting like the world, not like a man of God. Let me tell you what happened. We have to be really careful about what we watch, because what we consume eventually starts to shape how we react to the world around us. If you're constantly watching videos filled with violence, negativity, or chaos, you might not even realize it, but you're training yourself to respond the same way when life gets tense. Now, I'll be honest, lately I've been watching a lot of political news and so-called current events. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Newsmax, the Young Turks. It doesn't matter which one you pick, because honestly, they're all preaching the same message. They hate you. They're coming for you. Your neighbor is the enemy. And the wild part is, it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Instill fear, stir up hate, and keep us divided, while the real enemy sits back, laughs, and pillages the world for themselves, leaving us the crumbs to fight over. Quick story. I was walking my dogs the other day. I live in a pretty nice neighborhood. Quiet, peaceful. But as I walked by, I saw two neighbors across the street from each other with their front doors open. Both had their TVs blaring. One was watching CNN. The other? Fox News. And I couldn't help but laugh a little, because I knew exactly what both of them were hearing. Two completely different messages, but both full of fear and blame, each one convincing them that the other side is the reason for all their problems. But here's the funny thing, we all live on the same block. We all shop at the same grocery stores. We all feel the same frustration when we spend $475 on groceries that barely last a week. But back to my story. Personally, seeing what's going on in our country and around the world, it's been making me angry. And even though I'm 100% a man of God, that anger caught up with me. This weekend, my daughter's boss yelled at her and cut her hours. I was so mad I drove down there in a hurry, and before I knew it, I was in the man's face. And I'll be honest, I was not using godly language. I'm not proud of that moment. Walking away, I realized that man probably didn't think, wow, look at that man of God. No, he saw anger, he saw flesh. And to make matters worse, my reaction didn't help my daughter. It hurt her, because now, he's taken her off the schedule completely. Later, during my alone time with the Father, I could feel him telling me,
"It's time to reset your algorithm, not just on social media, but in your spirit.
It's time to turn off the noise. Stop convincing yourself that you're just trying to stay informed, and start protecting your eye gates and ear gates. Because what I've been consuming has been manifesting in ways that pull me away from God and my purpose, not closer to Him. Now, I know we all fall short of the glory. We're human. But I also know this. I knew better then, I know better now, and there's no excuse for that kind of behavior. I didn't represent the God I served the right way. And honestly, if that man wasn't a believer and later found out I was, he'd probably say, "Keep your God. I don't want any part of that." Normally, I tune the news out. But I could tell that constantly consuming all this hate and outrage had done a number on me. Because when I saw my daughter's manager, I didn't see him as a person, I saw him as the enemy. He fit the image the news trained me to see, someone who hates me. Now, I don't know that man from a can of paint, but I had already made up my mind he was the problem. And in that moment, my flesh said, it's time to fight. When the word clearly teaches, love your neighbor as yourself. Thank God that situation didn't escalate beyond control. But one thing I learned, I have to reset my algorithms. I have to be intentional about consuming more God, love, and peace, and less war, hate, and drama. So here are some applications I took away from my own testimony, things I'm working on right now. 1. Audit your intake. Take one day this week and really pay attention to what you're watching, listening to, and engaging with online. Ask yourself, does this feed my spirit or my flesh? Then, start small. Replace one negative thing with something godly. Maybe worship music, a sermon, or quiet time in prayer. 2. Reset your algorithms, not just on social media, but in your heart. The more you fill your life with things that glorify God, the more you'll start to look and respond like Him. 3. Practice pause before reaction. The next time something frustrates you, don't respond right away. Take a deep breath and say silently, "Holy Spirit, lead my response." That one moment of pause can change everything. And I'll be real, if I had done that, my daughter would still have a job right now. So this one, I'm personally implementing ASAP. 4. Guard your gates. Protect your eye gates and ear gates. Because what you let in will eventually come out through your words, your attitude, and your actions. If you're constantly watching political chaos, rising grocery costs, rumors of war, and global tension, no wonder you feel heavy. I can't control any of it. I still have to work. I still have to pay this mortgage. Life doesn't stop just because the world's in chaos. So for me, I've got to be intentional about cutting off that rage bait. I'm learning to fill that space with things that bring me joy, and more importantly, draw me closer to Yahuwah. Because the more I fill my mind with His peace, the less room there is for the world's chaos. 5. Reflect daily. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did my words and actions represent Yah well today? If not, bring it to Him, not in shame, but in surrender. 6. Surround yourself with spiritual content. Follow pages, podcasts, and creators that feed your spirit instead of draining it. When your environment aligns with God, your reactions will start to reflect Him naturally. So at the end of the day, it's simple. What you consume shapes what you reflect. If you want to reflect peace, consume peace. If you want to reflect love, consume love. And if you want to reflect God, you've got to spend time with Him. Don't just reset your feed, reset your focus, because the real algorithm that matters is the one between your heart and heaven. If this message spoke to you, drop a comment, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and let's start resetting together.